All right, everyone. Stephen Key here, and today we're going to do another inventRight Inventor Spotlight. And Elliot, thank you for joining us today.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Well, I'm curious. Tell us a little bit about you, but also tell us a little bit about your inventing. When did it all start?
Well, I live in the greater DC area. I am living in Maryland currently, but I'm originally from the Northeast, Massachusetts, and as a young kid, I was always drawing cars. I love to sketch the cars. I love to create different designs for things. And in my experience, I've gone from graduating with a BS in textile science, fashion merchandising, and design from the University of Rhode Island. Okay. I kept on going with being a personal stylist for almost 20 years at Nordstrom, Bloomingdale's, and even Marcus. Going back to my childhood, I was a silversmith for about 6 years, and ever since I learned to drive, I have been performing my own maintenance and modifications to every single vehicle I've ever owned. So it's just part of me. I think there's always a better way to do things, or at least I want to find the best way to do things. Okay. And typically, when I think that there's an opportunity to make something better, I think I can do it myself. I think I can help people to do things better. And that's where product development comes in.
Well, tell us this. Sounds like you've been creative for a long time. What did you know about the process before you became a member of inventRight?
It has really been a learning experience. The product development didn't really know much more than the IP and the prototyping, right? And I am very grateful to have met IP professionals, patent lawyers that are good people, trustworthy people. Okay. And they coached me before I received coaching from inventRight. Okay. To be able to write my own specification, write my own claims. Yeah. And so I am eternally grateful to them for all of the guidance that they gave me in that direction. And in doing so, I started creating my own patent drawings, because I needed a lot. I needed like 50 something for my application. So I couldn't really afford to pay anybody to do this for me. I can't really afford to pay anybody to do my own specification or write my own specification or write claims. The only person that could write my patent is me. And it took years. And so before inventRight, I was working on that side, or those steps, right, of the 10 steps. And so when I got to inventRight, I had already crossed off a couple steps. I had done some market research. Okay. I had, completed a large portion of my IP. I had produced a looks like, works like prototype, a pre-production prototype. And I was at the point where I was about to do second iterations of that prototype, create improvements on that prototype. But I really wanted to get it out into the public. I really do want to help people with my product, right? So then I thought to myself, well, where do I go from here? How do, because I really don't want to venture. Like, I have seen firsthand what it does to people when they venture. They don't get a lot of sleep. That's for sure. I've seen some people sell their soul to VCs. I've seen what my life could be, and I didn't want it to be that way. And I was looking for another way to bring it to market, and licensing was a viable option. And here I come looking at YouTube, and I'm doing more research. I'm doing market research on licensing, right?
All right.
And understanding what's out there. And I see your face.
We're pretty hard
Your
to
smiling
find.
face.
We're pretty hard to find, I think.
Oh yeah.
So why?
I think your SEO is pretty good.
All right. So you're looking, you realize, okay, you got the protection side down a little bit. You get it. The commercialization part is something that you want more information. You find our channel licensing looks like a great model. What was it about the videos, or what was it about that you decided to become a member? Because that is a jump from, hey, I think I'm going to do it. I'm going to educate myself, but the point of saying, hey, I'm going to join inventRight, what was it?
It's your personality. Like your Stephen Key's personality, your heart, Andrew's personality, Andrew's heart, and then it's contagious. It's everybody that works for inventRight, you know, down to the support staff, the coaches, everybody. You know, you've done a fantastic job of vetting everyone, and everybody has a very similar mission to help inventors do it the right way, and to guide them. And that's what I needed. I needed direction and guidance in order to do these next steps. It's not that I couldn't do it. It's just that I didn't know what to do. I was lost.
Well, it's kind of interesting. You said vetting. I don't think we vetted anybody, to say the truth.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because I think the people that find us, we're very like-minded. We care, and we know what it's like to do this, and we understand the difficulty. We understand how important the guidance is. So we've all come together to help, and that's that common thread, I think, that you just mentioned. So what are you working? Let's jump around a little bit. What are you doing now? What are you working on? What is happening? Because you're in the process at the moment of something going on. What is it?
Yeah. So right now, I have a couple things in the fire right now. I've got a couple negotiations with potential licensees, clients, and I am trying to bring that conversation forward to a potential licensing agreement. Okay. I'm on the reaching out front. I'm you know, I think inventRight really gave me the tools that I needed to enter the market and several markets and present myself in a way that I felt comfortable, right? I got my LinkedIn profile straightened away with Smart Pitch, and Benjamin Harrison, you know, does a bang up job with that. I was able to polish up my website for my company, which was a huge, achievement, and I was able to, just do even little things like, get my signature on my email right. Like I got it to where I feel comfortable sending out emails and I feel professional, like I've often thought that inventRight is more professional development than product development.
That's
Right.
interesting. I think you're right. I think it's a combination, and to be real successful at this, you have to bring a good idea together, but you have to understand the world of licensing and how to conduct yourself and be that asset companies want to bring in to work with. It's not just the big idea. People think it's just the idea. It's a little bit more than that. So you're working with our negotiation coach. What's that like, Paul? What's he like?
Paul is excellent. He is like everybody at inventRight. He's a very personable guy. He knows his stuff about negotiations. He was able to present me with a little coaching on how to bring my current negotiations forward, present me with a sample licensing agreement to understand, where the boundaries are, what would be considered a fair agreement to everybody included, which is what I want. I want to be perceived as a professional in the market. I don't want to be, selling myself short, but at the same time, I don't want to be alienating anyone.
Well, I'm glad you said that, because sometimes if you don't look at kind of both sides, you might be doing something out of sequence, or you might be asking for something that's not appropriate, and deals seem to go away pretty fast. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they do. All right, last question.
Sure.
Your coach, the whole coaching process, is it a good thing, bad thing? I mean, tell me about it, because I think we all need someone to be there. Personally, myself, but I'm just like to hear your take on our coaching.
Yeah, I think coaching is what I personally needed to bring my idea forward. Again, I really needed that direction, that guidance, to fill in all the blanks, right? Because I had completed almost 7 of the 10 steps by myself in some degree, right? But was I completing each one of those steps 100%? Did I know what a sell sheet, or like a professional sell sheet, looked like? Did I know what the 1-minute video was going to really look like in the end? And I think that's what having a coach to bounce these ideas off every week. I went through over 50 iterations of the sell sheet, and I do have graphic design experience. I am a patent illustrator. That's what my company does. I produce patent illustrations. So I have an idea, and I do have a design background, like in fashion design and all of that stuff. So I understand what, good design looks like. But does it communicate the idea that I want to communicate, right? And so you can think personally, you can do that in a closed room and think that, oh man, my sell sheet is top notch, or like my video is fantastic. But you really do have to be open to feedback in every step of this product development journey. And having your coach there provides you the instant feedback in the emails, in the weekly emails, right? In the coaching session, the one-on-one video call, meeting with other coaches, including Paul Sorensen, meeting with other inventRight students, and opening yourself up to the community of inventors, and being at a place with your IP that that no one's stealing your idea. Okay, like no one has enough time to steal your idea. Yeah, right? Like there are tons and tons and tons of ideas. No one wants your idea. The only person that's pushing your idea forward is you.
I'm really glad that you said we have 10 steps and you had done 7, but you knew you needed more help completing, but also the 7 steps. Elliot, a lot of people believe that they have a PPA and they have a sell sheet and they're ready to go. And they think they're ready. And I'm trying to explain to them, you've just done 2 tasks. And there's a lot more to it. And I'm glad you explained it, that there really is. Because some people think they're ready with those 2 things, and I think they need a lot more work. Yeah.
Well, on top of that, like I was saying before, you can tick the box, right? You can say, oh, I have a PPA and I have a sell sheet. How good are they? Right? As a percentage, are they 100%? Are they 60%? What are they actually communicating? Are they an asset to you, or are you alienating your potential licensees when you only really get one shot to make a first impression? And I think that's what inventRight gave me, is the confidence to know that the sell sheet, if I get rejected from a potential licensee, it's not because my sell sheet wasn't good enough. It's not because my video is not good enough. It's not because my my email outreach isn't good enough. It's because it's not right for that company at that time, for that market, and that's okay.
Perfect. Elliot, thank you so much for coming on and sharing a little bit about the process and sharing a little bit about what you're doing. And it's really great to hear from you and other of our members. So thank you very much.
It's my pleasure, Stephen. Thank you for taking the time with me today and offering to include me in this. Thank you.